Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stitches and Side Roads. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining me. I thought that I would spend a little bit of time and talk about the whole process of sewing and why I do it. I am, someone that's been sewing for a long time. And someone said to me that, do you sew to save money? Well, that's not my motivation. And actually, ready made clothes are often a more budget friendly option sometimes. Um, so it's not necessarily the least inexpensive hobby you could have is to make and sew your own clothes. Um, I like the idea of choosing something that I like and then customizing it to what I want. You can pick your materials according to what you like or what you can afford. You can go more high end, or get something that's wash and wear. I do a lot of my fabric shopping here in Ottawa at Fabricland, but there are other high-end shops around, and maybe one of these days we can take a road trip and search those out. I do um, feel that everyone has their own idea about things that they like to do. Now, if it's something that you think you want to do, I would like to show you some of the things that I've made and how the reasons behind the, that I've continued to sew all these decades, and I still am sewing. And the enjoyable thing is that I only feel more accomplished the more experience I get with that. So have a look, and you let me know what you think. So this jacket I made probably more than 4 decades ago. I don't have the pattern anymore. Can't remember what pattern it was, but I do remember making it, and I had a pair of trousers, sort of in an ivory color, to go with this jacket. You can see it's a relatively simple pattern, just patch pockets here on the front and one up there, and then just a sort of a pretty normal collar for a jacket coat, and then simple back to it. Um, Now, I have worn this jacket a lot over the years, not recently because it doesn't fit me well anymore, but it actually has held up really well. You can see there's some mild wear sort of on the cuffs, but if you take the time when you're making something, um, you know, you have the opportunity when you're making something to enforce those areas and use techniques, sewing techniques that make the construction durable. I have, looking at it very carefully here, I think if I were to remake this, I would pay special attention to some other little details. But very happy, still really like this little jacket really well. And I'm not sure if you were to buy something like this ready made that it would have stood up over 40 some years and still look this good in my opinion. Okay, so this is another jacket that I have made more recently, I think, maybe just last year. Now, I have another jacket almost um, looks very similar to this. I have it over here. I'll just hold it up so you can kind of see it. And then this one I bought. I bought this, I think, from H&M. So this is a linen blend, but it's very lightweight, and you can see that they're just kind of faux pockets. You don't have any pockets in these anywhere. So, it wasn't an expensive um, buy, but I liked it for the color, and I really Um, Still wear it a lot, but it's more like spring and summer weight, very, very lightweight. It is lined. Um, so, with having that jacket in my closet, I then wanted to make another one that was heavier and had all those details in it. So, these ones have pockets. And this pattern, um, I got it actually from a book that I had bought, but I'll show you that in a minute. Um, so this this jacket I lined with a heavier fabric. It's sort of like a satin type fabric, and it really gives the coat some weight. So this is actually a nice weight for fall, and then you could put it under an overcoat as well to wear it. And so I have this now, like a similar jacket to wear all year round to go with uh, other pieces of clothing that I have. You can see this one has these princess seams, and the construction of it, actually it's got a bound buttonhole, and the the back, if I just turn it around for you, you can see there's also, it's nicely fitted with the princess seams in the back as well. And I changed the cuffs on them because I just didn't like the idea of having the buttons there. And so when I looked at it, I just left it and just rolled them up. So there was a cuff like that that sort of gives it a more casual effect. Um, there was a lot of work that went into this coat. Really was tailored using tailoring techniques, and you can just feel it when you pick it up. You can just feel um, the quality of it. You know, it's got some weight to it, and it really is a very comfortable coat to wear. And then the lining itself as well. You know, it slips off of your um, body easily because of the slippery lining. Um, I'm really happy that I took the time to do this. This is a linen blend. I had this in my stash, and I think it's turned out really well. And really proud of this make. Love wearing this coat. Okay, I'm just showing you all jackets right now, but I think I'm making my point about why you would sew or why I love to sew. So this garment I made from fabric. I walked into Fabricland one day, and this was sitting on a big bolt of in the shop. I noticed it right away, and I looked at it. I looked at it, and I didn't know what I was going to make with it, but I bought the fabric without even knowing what I was going to make with it. And then I saw a pattern, Berta pattern, and I will link the pattern. I think the Berta pattern that this is made from is 5770. I'll and you'll see the pattern along with the video. But what what really I feel love this. What I really love about this is how this came out and the use of the pattern of the fabric. And you can see that each sleeve is a little bit different. And you know, it took me a little bit of time to just lay it out and figure out the way it was going to look. But what I love about it is it shows off the pattern construction really well, and the nice black buttons on the gray to coordinate with the sort of striped effect of the fabric. And then if you turn it around to the back, you know, it's got this nice wide striped effect to it. I've had a lot of compliments when I'm wearing this jacket, and it's visually to me very appealing. I really, really love this piece. I'm going to make it again, maybe out of a knit fabric this time, but it has, you can open up the lapel of it and wear it open. You can wear the coat open if you want. It still looks effective. So it's taking something and making it your own is such a satisfying experience for me. I love that. Now, mind you, I'll tell you that sometimes it doesn't always work out, but this is one of the times where I'm so pleased. It's a bit of a heavier weight, more of like a jacket that you would wear in the fall, but again, like you would you wouldn't be able to buy something like this in any of the stores. You might be able to buy this asymmetrical thing, but making it your own is what's so appealing to me. I love the shape of this jacket, and I do want to show you what I did. It actually is comes as an unlined pattern, but I lined it, and I lined it with this um, fabric that it's not really lining fabric. It's got these little bicycles on them. It's so much fun, and when you open up the coat, or even if you take it off and you put it on the back of your chair, you have this nice visual part of the coat that's also beautiful to me on the inside. I just really love that. I just love it. This is a coat that I wear in the winter time. I bought this fabric. It's boiled wool, and it was just another one of those experiences where I just saw the fabric, and I love the color. And I knew that I wanted to make sort of a coat. So I purchased the fabric, and then I do have the pattern that I used, which I will. It's this one here. If you can see that, but I will post a picture of it as well. This is McCall's P341, and um, the inside of the coat. I actually wanted to make this because it was a learning curve for me as well to make a coat that was not lined. So, but to finish it appropriately so the inside is also beautiful. So, all the seams, every seam on the inside of the coat is done in what is called a Hong Kong finish. Um, and then um, all coats that I would wear, I would make sure that the sleeves were lined. And so there is a lining in the sleeve. It just makes it much easier to slip your arm in there, especially for a winter coat if you've got a sweater on or something. But even though the jacket itself is not lined, not completely lined, there is a lining to across the back, and the sleeves are lined for that reason. The thing that made this a little bit awkward for me was the fabric was so thick. My buttonholer on my machine wouldn't do a good job with that. So I actually ended up putting these snaps on. Now, it's been on my mind to do hand sewn buttonholes on the jacket at some point, and I'm hoping to do that. But I love this coat. It is so warm. I wear it in the winter a lot. And even though it's not lined, you put on, just another sweater or cardigan underneath it, and it's great. So getting something that suits you. I love the color, and then this is also probably going to last a long time. It does need to go to the dry cleaners right now. But another one of the pieces that I truly, truly enjoy wearing. So happy with the result. Okay, so this is the last piece I'm going to show you today. I made this winter coat a couple of years ago. And the inspiration for this actually came from that picture that you saw um, from, the pattern is again from a Berta subscription magazine. And I just love the look of the coat. And I looked at it and I thought, I really want to make that coat. I just even love the fabric. And so the fabric that I ended up getting, this is a nice light wool. Um, and I got these buttons from, can't remember now where I got them, but I think they're beautiful, lightweight wool, and it's a little bit darker than the fabric in the picture, but I love the pattern. It's got these nice big pockets here, but it's also an interesting design because it's got this flap um, uh, at the top, and it goes all the way around to the back, and the flap is connected to the coat um, at the top. But when you open it up, you'll see that the flap is separate from the armhole. So when you put your arm through here, you have to make sure you get your arm into the sleeve. It's kind of a unique design, but it's a piece that's unique, and I know that nobody else is going to have this coat. Um, I love wearing it. It's nice and big and roomy. It goes over just about anything, and I think it's just a fabulous piece. It is lined, and this lining is the same lining that was in that linen jacket that I showed you. Now, this is not an easy project, I will say. It took a lot of work. There was a lot of stuff that I kind of learned as I went along, but it's not a race. And in the end, very happy with how this came out, and I proudly wear this garment when the weather's cold enough. Hi. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully you got some inspiration from it. Showed you several of the garments I have in my closet. So, um, anyway, I do have a shout out to make. I have been following somebody who's a great teacher in my experience in the sewing arena, and her name is Allison Smith, and this is her book, the tailoring book, and she is from the UK. Now, this book is like a more advanced thing. You want to learn how to do couture sewing, or you want to learn how to tailor something. This is a great resource. Um, that pattern for that jacket, that linen jacket that I made with the satin lining, I that pattern is in this book. So when you purchase the book, you get access to all the patterns, and you download them from her website, and then you download them, and then you can trace off the downloaded pieces, and have the pattern pieces, which I keep then forever. So that's the tailoring book. Now she does have another book out. It's called the Sewing Book. It's a more basic publication, and she is working on an update for this book. But if you are looking for something that is teaching a bit more basic stuff for patterns, this is a good option. So the patterns that are in here are not, there's not a lot of garments, but for example, there's a pattern for a makeup bag. It's a smaller project that you can probably finish in a day, but she takes the opportunity to use these things to teach. So, for example, that shows you how to put in a lining into the bag, how to finish the seams properly, and then how to insert a zipper. So, those two books have been very helpful to me over the years, and I really enjoy them. The other thing is this Berta magazine. So I was subscribed to Berta. Berta is a German company, and I was subscribed to this magazine, and then I let it go. For some reason, getting Berta subscriptions here in Canada is a bit of a challenge, and some of the magazines were coming to me straight, with still not translated into English, but in German. and I just didn't seem to be able to rectify what the issues were. So you can buy these magazines as well online. I think Etsy provides the older ones, and then but if you do want the magazine subscription in Canada, you go through like a third party. So what happens is that you have all the patterns inside the magazine are in this section here. Then you have to find your pattern, trace off the pieces, which I think if you do it for the first time can be a little frustrating or daunting, but I've done it several times now and I can probably do a whole pattern in about an hour. They are what is called net patterns as well. So you do have to add the seam allowance to the pattern, which I usually do after I trace it off, and then I have it forever. But it gives you a glimpse of what patterns are available in the magazine, and you get all of those patterns. It gives you some idea of what the fabrication should be like, that kind of thing. So they are great. I do recommend them, even though it is difficult to get them here. So I showed you two Berta patterns. One was that asymmetrical jacket. That's a Berta pattern, and I will put the number of the pattern in the descriptions as well. But that long coat, the long brown coat as well, is in this book. This book. Now, mind you, I have taken the patterns out of there, and they're in a box somewhere. But the patterns as well for everything is here, and then it's showing that there's that coat that I made, and so all the patterns are in there in the and it gives you all the instructions and everything in this magazine. It tells you how to um, download, how to trace off the patterns, and it tells you how to construct the garment once you have the pattern. And then the other thing that has become a bit more difficult in Canada is getting patterns. So this is the pattern for that blue coat that I showed you. It's a McCall's pattern. And I used to buy all of my patterns from Fabricland here in Ottawa. That's now changed because all those pattern companies, the big ones like Simplicity, McCall's, Vogue, they were all sort of under a big umbrella. So now this is my understanding. And that thing, that corporation, whatever, went bankrupt. And so then they weren't providing these patterns anymore. You can still get them, like McCall's patterns and all of that stuff. The new releases are still out there. It's just going to a store and then looking through a book and then choosing a pattern like we used to do is becoming a thing of the past, I think. Um, so you can look for patterns if you find one. You could, for example, if you want a coat pattern, you could search them and then you can buy them online. So I think that's it for me. Well, one last thing. Since I'm relatively new to the whole process of the YouTube channel, I keep forgetting to suggest that you subscribe or give me a thumbs up. Apparently, that's supposed to help with things. I don't know what they mean by that, but and then there's a spot as well for comments, and would be particularly interested to hear your thoughts about what this posting is about sewing, because this channel's not just about sewing. So I, do other things, including going on road trips and showing you those things. I've got a couple of trips planned in the near future. I'm going to share that with you. Um, but give me your feedback. And if the sewing part of the channel is something of really interest to you, let me know what you think, because I can um, give you some information. So, for example, if it was simply something like downloading those PDF patterns, how to trace them off, how to get them, and then what to do with them, how to store them, those kinds of things, I could be helpful with that. I can also do some sewing tutorials. If you're interested in that kind of thing, just let me know, and I'd be interested to get your feedback. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope you come back here soon.